Privileged to be given this opportunity to represent my entity to present the budget framework paper to you. But allow me to respond to the issues raised by the honorable members. And I think one of the areas mentioned is the most recent loss of lives of 6 people. And I'll begin by saying that loss of life of even a single individual is regrettable. And I would like it to be put on record that the police cannot be the entity to foster the loss of lives. We clearly know our duties and responsibilities, that we are there to protect life and property. And if any life is to be lost, it should happen also within the confines of the laws, and following standard operating procedures and regulations. So allow me, Honorable Chair and members, I know this is a very heavy issue, and I may not exactly give you all the details about this particular incident, but I want to assure you members through the chair that we take it seriously, and as my minister has said, let us follow procedures even as we fight for the rights of those who have died, but also including preserving the rights of those who have killed. And I think that's the bottom line. And what am I saying here? I'm saying that we are following processes and procedures, although the concern is how long is this going to take? It's going to take some bit of time, but action is going to be taken within the confines of the law, and that's what I want to promise. For the details, I have also seen the recordings and the people talking, but still, I think it even comes from here, that you just don't judge situations, you don't judge people until you have got the real gist of the circumstances. The media has brought out what was seen, what was purportedly seen, but the police must bring out what exactly happened. And I think I would like to request, Chair, through you, Chair, that I know what happened really raises a lot of concern. We are talking about loss of lives here. But allow me to repeat it again. We are taking it as seriously as it should be, and at an opportune time, we shall be able to account to this committee, to the people of Uganda, because we are tasked by the people of Uganda to carry out what we do carry out. With your permission, allow me to generally respond to that. And I think the reason is simple, just out of what I've said, because even my colleagues who are here, none of them was directly there. It calls for serious investigation and assessment to arrive at a decision that must remain legal and defendable. The same applies to, first of all, my apologies to Honorable Sekikubo. I'm aware of what transpired in Remiyaga, and the same is being subjected to a neutral assessment so that we don't hurt any individual in the process. And at an opportune time, I should be able to give a response and act accordingly, also being guided by protocols and procedures. I may not be able to give exactly what is going to happen, but I can promise and confirm that action will be taken where it is required. There was also the other issue raised by Honorable Numbers, I think, about people, officers escorting goons. I think still our efforts are still work in progress. Now, at this juncture as Inspector General of Police, it's very difficult for me now to exactly give the pretty details of what happened around that incident, because even for me, I'm just getting that complaint, and I promise that we are going to follow it up thoroughly. But the issue you raise is, I think it's not only in your area, it could be countrywide, but at times, because the police moves with the force, most of these activities are carried out by court brokers, given permission by court. But when it is done without, then there is a problem which we must handle. And for me, that's the bottom line. And we are ready and prepared to correct where we get mistakes, but equally seriously ready to protect the people of Uganda. And we have that commitment. I can really confidently say this. Along the way, there will be mistakes. But what is important is how do you handle those mistakes? And that's why I want to assure you that the systems and procedures and processes of handling those issues are in place, and we shall continue to improve on even those systems. I beg that where we falter, we work around these things together, because the police is ours. The police is to help us, to help this country, to enable this country to move forward. As we realize it as an institution, that we have a very cardinal duty. And if we don't perform it, you cannot talk of development. Because if you lack peace and security, then the aspirations, all those visions, 2040, the PDM and all of that, we are alive to that fact, and we shall work towards that to ensure that this country continues to move forward.
I would like to welcome that undertaking. Then you must rein in on those ones who may want to take you for granted, who may feel they are connected. You must rein in on them. And I think that's why the president appointed you, and we're all happy with your professionalism and your tested officer. Look, signs can show, Mr. Chairman, last time when we had the police, someone had put on the file from a police statement, the office of the deputy IGP. And we asked, is this your own personal report or it is for the police? But you've escaped it. The file is reading Uganda Police. Unlike your predecessor who had assumed, not your predecessor exactly, but someone down there who had wanted to have a higher grasp of the force. So, Mr. Chairman, we entreat you, we shall be here to support you. I was actually very mad about the operations budget. But you must rein in on them. They will take you for granted if you give them way. You must stand, you must be the first of the Uganda Police, so that wherever we run, when things happen, we know there is somebody in charge who will address this crisis to the people of Uganda.
Thank you. Thank you, Sechko. IGP. Please, and let's, because now eventually we.
There is one area I have not yet responded to from the concerns of the members. The shooting, the unfortunate shooting incident
At Kampala Club.
at around near Kampala Club. Again, the incident is regrettable, and again the other regrettable circumstances we have not yet got the culprit, but all efforts are in place to get the suspect. Even just yesterday I was in a meeting to map out extra measures to see that we arrest this rogue policeman.
Okay.
But I also want to just present our little
The
efforts.
suspect is a policeman.
The suspect is a policeman from the VIPP.
Oh, so that should be easy to track.
He's still at large. We have carried out to remedial actions in some of the instances. I hope they are being seen and registered, like the incident that took place in Imbarara. Actually, where police officers were dragging a lady. The police acted very fast to an extent that I started getting calls. That isn't that too fast? Because what I did was to quickly put them in the police court. They were charged, and fortunately the court recommended a dismissal for them from the police, and then they were taken to the criminal court. But what I wanted to share with you, Honorable Chair and members, I started getting reactions that I think you are getting too fast. Now, maybe I may have to be guided now. If it is indiscipline and criminality, I think if I'm being told that I'm getting too fast, I'll get faster.
IGP.
I promise to get faster.
Get assurances from us that when you are doing your job and doing it professionally, stick there.
Thank you, Chair. Allow me, I know we have the constraint of time.
Yes.
Detentions by URA.
Arrests by URA.
Arrests by URA and detentions by the police. Of course, that's not right. We know what the Constitution, the powers that it gives us. It's 48. And even that officer, I think I'll have to interact, someone will have to interact with him. URA is not in charge of the police cells. So that officer is in charge of the police cells. And therefore that excuse that helped me do ABCD, maybe that you will also assist me to keep retraining the police officers, because he must know that that is his responsibility. Whether the person has been brought by a sister agency, at the end of it, accountability is his, and by extension, accountability is by the Inspector General of Police. So if it is to say sorry, I must say sorry here, but we are going to rectify. We will rectify. Chair, allow me to
land evictions. One is that private security organs are not supposed to be part of the evictions. And two, that these evictions must be done within working hours during the day. But like I told you, what happened in night was at night, and for several months now, a village has been besieged by goons and private security people. I've personally been at police. I've visited the area. At one time I met there even the OC, but the way he was behaving was like he was so incapacitated and unable to be dealing with these people, you know, as if he feared them. So I want to know, what I asked really and the assurance Ugandans must get from you, Mr. IGP, is that one, people now, as a business, are raising up militias to guard the land. And they are out there for hire.
Honorable Namboze, I think it has been noted. Honorable Namboze, and you and me have been on this committee, and we know that thereafter we
when they asked the
other
clarification,
questions.
is, when the IGP was giving us the answer, he did not come out specifically on that matter. Secondly, Mr. Chairman, is the issue of the time. He has said that they are going to they need a lot of time. They need reasonable time to deal with the issue of the execution of Ugandans, the suspected execution of Ugandans. What I want to know is specifically what is so special? Wasn't police the one who were conducting this operation? Because this is something that was done on camera in broad daylight, and then you hear that we shall need the time. We shall need the reasonable time. And what is that reasonable time? Mr. Chairman, we are talking for the dead who are not here to talk for themselves. So if you say and you leave it like, say, we shall need time, I think that is not commitment enough.
I think let us agree. Partly, I think Honorable Minister responded, and then the IGP also gave a view. And finally, you find that most of these issues are in the budget framework paper. Eventually, maybe you tell me the union clearly stated that the problem is fuel. It is us to solve this, and that is why we are here. And I think I would now rule that IGP specifically give the highlights, and then we receive the budget framework paper, and then thereafter we shall have more questions. You know, Honorable Numbers, you have even deprived me of this seat. Now the chair is back even.